Expand Network, we are really a middleware connectivity layer for all of DeFi and Web3. So we've built a pretty senior team. I've been in crypto since 18. I've spent time working with Pascal at Ledger and Constantine at Blockdaeming, building out their global sales teams and product teams. Varun is our CTO based in India, has a great deal of blockchain and AI experience, and is the driver of what you're going to see today. And Melinda, who's in the back, who I'm going to crucify later for telling you it was my birthday today, is our head of biz dev, who spent time at Evmos and Gemini and spent a great deal of time working for Morgan Stanley. So we have a very experienced team, and our development team is based in India. What we're here to do is really help be an extension of your development staff. We're really here to help you scale efficiently and effectively and quickly and most cost effectively. We want you to scale and have access to anything that you want to do on chain. So you want access to DEXs for swaps. You want access to lending protocols. We provide you that connectivity to add and remove liquidity. We also provide you full connectivity into to all the different ecosystems within this. So we have over 150 read and write endpoints that really make life easy for the dev teams to scale. This is everything that we have integrated in. If you see a blue star, it's really kind of in our current dev schedule. So support over 60 different chains and protocols. Again, lending protocols, bridges, oracles, derivatives and synthetics, as well as to the staking ecosystems. We provide all access to all the stable coins as well and trading in stable coins. So we're here to help you scale and efficiently and effectively in scaling your ecosystem. And what we've done now is really scaled everything in the Stellar ecosystem. We've received a grant from Stellar. We've integrated the chain. We've integrated Stellar DEX. We've integrated Lobster wallets, and we'll integrate other wallets that have Stellar ecosystems. And we've also integrated the Soroban ecosystem. So this is an example of how what the code that we've written and all the capabilities and endpoints that we've written to access and do a trade and on the Stellar DEX. So we've written hundreds and thousands of lines of codes. You don't have to do that. You can come, take our API, access these particular endpoints, and start building on top of anything you want to do within Stellar. If it's tokenized assets or real-world asset on top of Soroban, or you want to trade within the Stellar ecosystem and do cross-chain trading within the ecosystem, we have all that capability built in. So really, so you can build faster, again, more cost effectively with our API. As I mentioned, all these things have already been integrated into our API. It's really to come in, take the endpoints, don't have to worry about the lines of code that need to be built. You just take the endpoints and start developing on top of that. We support the full trading lifecycle, so all your pre-trade data needs that you need and all your post-trade trade reconciliation components are in. Again, we provide one unified API for all of DeFi and Web3. We're non-custodial and wallet agnostic, so we can integrate with obviously Lobster Wallet and other MPC and hardware wallets. We provide no smart contracts, so we allow you to connect directly to the venue you want to interact with. So we're not adding any complexities or other steps into the trading environment or the building environment of a tokenized assets on Soroban. And we provide you a great deal of modularity and flexibility and price discovery. We're currently raising our round. We're raising a couple $1 million in a strategic round. So if you're interested in participating in that, well, we're talking to the Stellar team about that as well. We're super excited about that. But you can also access our site here, and you can register on our website for a free API to test everything out. And again, we're super excited to be a part of the Stellar ecosystem, be a part of the community, and helping people build on top of Stellar.
Today I will be presenting Hyperledger Solang, which is a Solidity compiler to WebAssembly and eBPF, and whose original creator is Sean Young. Is sitting right here. So before diving in, I would like to present why Soroban designers originally opted for WebAssembly. So WebAssembly is a high-performant, flexible, small size, and most importantly, LLVM-supported virtual machine. And being LLVM-supported means that a lot of languages can compile to WebAssembly, including Rust, C, C++, and so on and so forth. So why Rust? So Rust is type safe, memory safe, and is free of undefined behavior. And that means that it's really hard for a developer to make a mistake that the compiler will not detect. But that comes with a catch. So this is a meme graph showing the Rust learning curve, and it's a literal rolling coaster. And I think most devs will agree with me on this one. On the other hand, we have Solidity, which is a cool option. It's pretty much easy to learn due to its C++ look-like syntax. And it has a huge community around it, the EVM community, which can potentially be onboarded to Soroban once the integration is complete. So yeah, this is a yeah. Is there space again? Yeah. So this is a quick demo. Can you? Yeah, it's fine. All right, perfect. So this is a really simple Solidity contract compiled with Solang to WebAssembly, and then to be uploaded to Soroban testnet using the CLI. So basically, I'm going to deploy it, and we have here two functions. We have increment and decrement. So increment the counter, and decrements it. So if I call increment once and decrement to call it twice, it will do a runtime error because you cannot decrement a zero, a uint 0 to -1. It will give a runtime error. So here is the contract. The contract is deployed. I'm gonna just run it a little bit. Yep. So yeah, here I invoked the function increment, and as you can see, it will return a 1 after a while. Yep. And I call decrement, and when calling decrement, it is expected to print decrementing count on the screen. So yep, here it is, the string decrementing count. So the count is now 0. If you decrement count again, it's gonna give a runtime error, which Solang will detect, and here it is. So if you look here it is, runtime error mass overflow in line 11, column 9. So yeah, that was a very quick demo. So our vision is to expand the Soroban ecosystem by allowing Solidity as a companion to Rust. And how we are going to do that is to provide a sturdy compiler that translates Solidity to Soroban's WebAssembly. So yeah, so if you are interested in Rust development, compiler design, or virtual machines, please reach out via Hyperledger Discord or Stellar Developer Discord. Would be great to have you.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Fabricio. You can call me Fab. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Bigger. And today I'm here to, I think this is not working. Do I need to? Okay. All right, perfect. Good stuff. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about the Kickstart week. So if you guys are thinking about building on Stellar and you're just getting started, and maybe you don't know too much about the ecosystem you would like to learn, so Kickstart week is the place to start. So essentially we give you a 5-day program that will teach you the learning blocks of Stellar, and you can be awarded up to $15,000. So yeah, this is supported by the Stellar Community Fund. So the way it looks is it's a 5-day program, but we put a cheeky 0 in there because we ask you to do some user interviews, which you can do either before the program or throughout the program. And I guess one of the big things of why people really like doing this, so I'll show some metrics, but we've run it 3 times already, is that we give you the mentors to actually help you throughout the technical phase. So for instance, on the technical architecture, which is day 3, we have, we work on the Stellar network, we do development, we are developers, bunch of engineers. Bigger has 100+ developers. So during the camp, we actually have let me just go here and then I'll come back. So you have 20 mentors that are going to be working with you, making sure that your solution is the best that it can be, so you can get funding. Okay, so and people are really happy. So average NPS is 4.9. One thing so some stats, we had 300 interested companies in this past few camps, the 3 Kickstart weeks. I keep saying camps because before it was called the startup camp, so, bit of a mix up there. We selected 104 startups, and so far 30 of them have been awarded, but we haven't yet ranked the 38 that completed the October camp. So that might go up to 68. So we're now looking, so for now it's running once every 2 months. We're looking at running it every month. And if you guys are interested in participating, highly recommend you scan that, which is an expression of interest, and then we'll be in touch with you. Here we've got Facundo, who's actually leading the running of the Kickstart week. And we would absolutely love to have you there and guide you through how can you best integrate Stellar into your solution. Okay, that's it.
Good to see you guys. So I am Ankit. I'm head of growth at Ryzen. And we have worked with Ryzen for last 9 months to grow the community, the developer community in India and Turkey. So a little bit intro about ourselves. So we are the biggest developer community in India and Turkey, and we're also growing across the globe. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that every Web3 ecosystem needs developers and builders who retain and build longer term, but almost like 98% of developers leave most of the ecosystem within a year. And also, a lot of ecosystems do one-time programs, which is not effective, and that leads to a lot of drop-off. So how we are solving this is by building local communities. So we have presence in Turkey, Pakistan, Nepal, India, Southeast Asia, Africa, and we're also starting to grow our presence in LATAM. And so this is what we have been able to do with Stellar in India. So we started the initiative in March, and we have more than 5,000 developers, which we have trained, 35 plus events in India. 170 plus projects have gotten built. Some of them applied to bigger, to the startup camp as well. 7 of them have got grants from SCF/startup camp. And these numbers are just until last month. We'll have more number of projects coming in the next few months. So we also launched this in Turkey just in August, and we had more than 1,000 developers trained, more than 5 number of events, and we also did a Stellar content challenge where we saw more than 400 content. You can see some cool memes getting made for Stellar, like the typical meme culture of Web3. So, and this is a video. So those were some things. We also did a Stellar Dev Yatra in India in 5 cities, which you saw a glimpse from, where Anuya was with us. What are we going to do next? So for the next year and the time to come, we want to do these 3 things: educate, incubate, and accelerate projects so that we can make the Stellar ecosystem even bigger. That's it. And if you guys want to connect with us, obviously come talk to me, and you can follow us all here. Thank you so much, and thanks Stellar team for inviting us here.
All right, well, good afternoon, guys. My name is Isabelle. I am the head of operations and North America growth for the Blockchain Acceleration Foundation, which is a nonprofit that focuses on spearheading educational initiatives throughout the world in the form of really dynamic residencies. So the past year, we've done residencies in Izmir, San Francisco, and Buenos Aires, and more to come. And here's an overview of our dream team. And we really do believe diversity is our strength, and that's really given us the power to create such impactful projects. Here's a little bit about our reach. We were founded in 2018 in Santa Barbara, and since then we've founded accredited blockchain courses at UCLA, Santa Barbara, universities across Latin America, and so much more. We have about 2,500 active members in our communities. We've partnered with 75 clubs, university clubs, 15 sponsors in over 19 countries. We've had the privilege of organizing top-tier conferences with the biggest names in the student space, including a 2-day-long summit at Consensus 2024, along with a first builder house that we did with Stellar. We also did a builders retreat in San Francisco this past July, and through that, we've really seen a bunch of projects come about, be incubated, and go through Kickstart and Startup Camp. Oh. And here's a little bit just of from the retreat, things that we've done, how we've kept builders engaged. And at BAF especially, it's imperative that our students have a positive environment to build their technical skills and connect with others in the ecosystem. So here's a little recap of our Summer of Stellar. How do you play it?
You can just hit the spacebar.
Oh, nice. But we're not stopping here. We have a bunch of plans going into the next year or so, and we'd love to engage in longer-term collaborations and work with other projects across the ecosystem. So here's my email and Telegram if you want to get in touch or learn more about what we're doing. I'd love to hear from all of you and see what the future holds for us. So yeah, thank you guys.
So I'm Jake, and I'm one of 3 partners at DFS Lab. And I'm here to tell you about our super awesome Stellar Surge program in Africa. We move. So just to tell you a little bit about us first, we're both an investor and a researcher, and we also run these kind of innovation programs. On the investment side, my partner gave a talk earlier today. We've been running a Stellar-based investment fund of venture capital for early stage partners in Africa. And we're trying to invest in companies that are building the kind of future of commerce across the continent. We've got about 40 companies so far that we've invested in. We also do research and run innovation programs a little bit like the one that we're doing here with Stellar. Now, the Surge program, basically the goal is to try and build a community of African devs and startups and fintechs who are building on the Stellar program, or building on the Stellar platform. And using Soroban, that's kind of the main goal. We've got 3 objectives. First is to support Stellar Development Foundation as they enter into Africa and build relationships and solidify their presence. We want to launch and nurture a growing community of Stellar devs and Stellar users across the continent. And we want to, in particular, create a pipeline for more viable, novel use cases coming out of Africa, where there's a huge need for technologies like Stellar to solve some of the biggest problems in the payments and fintech ecosystem. We have a couple of key focus areas, right? So big area is kind of learning and awareness. You can't use Stellar if you don't know what it is and you don't know how to use it. So we do things like creating educational content and resources for people who want to learn. We do office hours, we do workshops, Ask Me Anything sessions. So everything kind of in the vein of helping people understand what Stellar is, what's the value, and how to use it, and where they can get resources. And then we also want to engage the community, right? And sort of build relationships and link up with other groups that are out there who may not know about Stellar and some of the value. So we've done real-time events, and I'll talk a little bit about those in a second, where in-person events, one in Nigeria, one in Ghana, and one in Kenya so far, and we're looking to do more. We engage community champions and local developer cells that are already formed and want to kind of bring Stellar into some of the work that they're doing already. We do business advisory and help support people who are applying to the Stellar Community Fund. So we'll help people all the way from, I have some crazy idea and what do I do, to I've got a full-scale business that's running and I want to integrate, we think Stellar is something we can use, and how do I do that? How do I integrate it, right? So we do kind of all range of support for companies and individuals who are trying to integrate Stellar into what they're doing. And then we've done some mini grants and pitching competitions, trying to just build excitement, give people, a little bit of resources and that feeling of, oh, I won something, so, let me continue and keep going. And then, like I said, it all links up, at least potentially, into our venture fund, where we can bring a lot more capital to the table and a lot more serious help to really build a business around, what are often, initially anyway, ideas and things like that. Some of our progress and traction, milestones, we've engaged over 15,000 builders across 9 different local Web3 and blockchain communities across the continent. 200 applications to join our Stellar Surge dev community, and I'm going to give you information on how to join yourself. You can all join. 800 registrations for our 3 different meetups that I mentioned in Ghana, Lagos, and in Nairobi. And then we gave away $8,500 to a bunch of different devs who are doing some of the cooler stuff that came across our radar. So, and this is just to give you a little bit of imagery, how cool and fun some of our events have been. This is Gift in the middle. She's based in Abuja in Nigeria, but she runs this whole program for our team. She couldn't be here today, unfortunately. Or she'd probably be doing a much better job of giving you some of the excitement. But we really get a lot of excitement. People are really hungry. There's a lot of energy and a real desire. And as my partner Joey said his talk earlier today, Africa needs Stellar and Stellar needs Africa. So there's huge problems to solve in Africa in terms of moving money and building fintech and that kind of thing. And it's also true that in Africa it's a great place to experiment because there's not a lot of incumbents. At least they're not very effective. And some of the infrastructure needs to be, all the infrastructure needs to be built and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to join, sign up, get on our mailing list, become part of the movement, please do. There's our obligatory QR code. And I'll be around for a little bit afterwards if anybody wants to ask questions.
Hey folks, so this is Rishabh and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Onboarding.club. At Onboarding.club, we are basically building a single ecosystem single club for multiple different ecosystems which can come together and have a great network and a great ecosystem for developers that are joining the Web3 program. And for now, to begin with, I started my journey with Stellar 2 years back, and the first product that we built was Sorobix, which was an ID on Stellar. But then I think Morgan just came in and went like, nah, these are kids. And those of you who don't know Morgan, he's the founder and one-man army for Okashi.dev, the only and the great ID that I've ever seen across Stellar, as well as a very tough competitor for Remix as well. Now coming back to onboarding, these are the 6 different product modules that we have. The hub is basically a learning hub for developers to learn more about ecosystems that we onboard. Gigs are weekend bounties that people can take part in, get inspired by, and get on board to the ecosystem. Social is basically networking and a forum for people to talk to each other and get help in the ecosystem. Hacks basically come with an innovative solution where you can find teammates for the particular hack that you are participating in. Soroban is completely new for a lot of different folks, and you can find Soroban devs over here for you to get onboarded with. Then there are jobs as well as seed, which we will be building in the next quarter, which helps you go from 0 to 1 by VCs. Now, with Stellar, in the last 3 quarters, we have conducted 11 events, onboarded 2,000 devs, and 16 mentored projects through us got through SCF grants. The highlight of all the events that we have conducted has been the Stellar Indiathon and the Stellar Builders Residency that we conducted in India. Indiathon was basically a weekend hackathon where we had 600 participants, 40 project submissions, and there was a $5,000 prize pool across 6 tracks. These were some of the winning projects, and a big shout out to the Ryzen team as well for helping us push this in India. Going forward, we did the much known Stellar Builders Residency in India. We got around 2,000 applications. 150 interviews were taken personally by me and my co-founder Shubham, out of which we decided to have 30 builders who built for 7 days. All the travel, meals, accommodation were sponsored. 7 builders came under one roof and built 16 different projects, out of which around 8 got funded by SCF through different means. So that has been a great success metric for the Builders Residency. Going forward, apart from the events, we are introducing a proof of reputation, which we call the Orion Ring. Here we aggregate both on-chain as well as off-chain data. Say, for example, your blockchain history, whatever you have contributed, smart contracts deployed, Git contributions, Medium, Behance, etc. These are all verified and permanently stored on Stellar, and this is how the mechanism would look like. So whatever off-chain and on-chain data is there for a specific builder, that gets stored to a mutative SBT, updated every 24 hours through a cron job that we run, and people can request this data through our different SDKs, or as well as visiting onboarding.club/profile/ wherever they want to go, so that they can access that builder, maybe get them hired, maybe get them a freelance gig, etc. These are basically for builders, for foundations and organizations. For builders, it becomes a one-stop proof of reputation, finding teammates for building, applying to different gigs, grants, etc. For foundations, they get access to a lovely dashboard and metrics. There's a personalized ecosystem hub, and basically gets a curated learning path for these foundations. For organizations, that is companies who are building on top of an ecosystem, they can smartly hire through our POR, list their gigs and bounties, and access top talent around. So this is our lovely team that has been helping us build it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Stellar team, for giving us this opportunity. And a big shout out to Gemma. Finally, Anuya is here. And Ankit for trusting in us, helping us for the last 2 years. And today we are here at Meridian. Also, just to note, there are a lot of builders who took part in the residency, out of which 3 to 4 are here today with us at Meridian, which makes us really proud. Just to take the names, there are Prathamesh, there is Tanvi, and there are a lot of other people who have come here and are now proving their mettle in this ecosystem. Thank you so much again.
I don't know if you all have noticed, but there's been sort of a central theme in all of the last pitches we've seen, which has been this woman right here, Anuhya, who I think can clone herself because she has been at every single event that every single one of these projects have put on in the last year. And she's here because she works with all of these projects and goes to all these events, and she's going to give us a little State of the Union ecosystem recap about what's going on with education and community events at Stellar right now.
Absolutely. Hello, hello. Do I just stand here?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, great.
Do you have a slide?
I do, but it's fine. It's not. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Great. Hi, everyone. Hello. I'm Anuhya, for those of you who don't know me, but I think everybody in this room at some point has come across me in one way or another, predominantly because I work with a lot of you here in this room. So a bit of an update here is that this past year, it's been truly a very exciting time because we have many of you playing a huge, huge part in not just helping us grow the ecosystem, but really being a part of at a foundational community level, getting your hands dirty, right? I know Faku and I, we talk almost on a daily basis here on ways to improve Kickstart. Ankit and I, a weekly call with Ryzen, just really growing our ecosystem out in India. And we have many of our ambassadors in this room as well, who really are out there getting their hands dirty, putting events on. Rishabh, as you just shared, the Builders Residency out in India, and as Gemma just mentioned, me trying to clone myself, being at every single event that I possibly could be around the globe, just making sure that I could best support everyone out here. And obviously Stellar Surge with DFS Labs, and we killed it in Africa as well with Gift. I don't think Gift is in town. Gift's not here. But it's been just such an amazing year to look back at thus far. We've onboarded over 50,000 developers easily, and that number keeps growing, seriously. And I mean, just to throw a number out here, for this past Kickstart, we had 176 applications come in. Facu, Fabricio, our entire bigger team out here, Marcio, they all really just went very deep in and made sure that they can pre-screen those applications through the Kickstart program. And where are those Kickstart attendees and projects coming in from? From programs such as the ones that are putting up in Ryzen through India, or EasyA's in-app challenges and beyond, right? So the fact that our entire ecosystem is coming together in such a beautiful way, to say the very least, and all of you being such a key player in just bringing this community alive. So I just wanted to quickly call that out overall. And as for the future of where things go, currently we are taking intake of new programs and applications and ideas that you might have to further teach developers out there through me. My email inbox is that point of entry currently. However, we are currently looking to set up a new program in the near future, probably Q1 or Q2 of next year, where you'll have a more streamlined process of, let's say you want to apply for grants and so on and so forth. That process for that education community vertical will be coming back alive soon by Q1 or Q2 of next year. So yeah, that. Well, the hackathon, I mean, the people that are going up next, NearX is going next, but we can quickly talk about the hackathon. I just spoke about the hackathon at the other stage, but so yeah, as Gemma just said, I ran from one stage to the other stage here. But in terms of the hackathon, we plan to have many more hackathons in the coming future. Just me being at Meridian, I think I spoke to at least 4 people who came up to me that told me, hey, I want to set up a hackathon in Nigeria. I want to do a hackathon in Argentina. That I've heard these conversations through and through in India, so on and so forth. So if you have all of these ideas for doing hackathons and fun mini weekend ways to onboard developers, please come find me. But one we had this past weekend that was super successful, that had 1,000+ applications come in, where we had to select only 300 of them to get onboarded. And we had 69 projects that were built in just one single weekend prior to Meridian here in London. But I'll leave all the details for Phil and Dom to talk about it when they talk about it in the EasyA app and in-app challenges, so on and so forth, and how EasyA is playing their role in furthering this community. So I think for the rest of these projects, we'll be hearing a lot more about what they're exactly doing in their specific communities and how they plan to further their thought process and grow our ecosystem here at the Stellar Technology and Ecosystem. Thank you all so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ciao. Very nice. Great to be here. So before digging in NearX and what we have been building with Stellar Blockchain, I would like to introduce very fast a little bit of my story. So I was raised in Teresópolis, a small city in the states of Rio in Brazil. And it's a very nice city, but the education there is awful. Guys, I didn't had, for example, chemistry. I didn't had physics classes. Even history classes I didn't have because the teacher doesn't use it to show up. So the outcomes of that was for sure bad. So most of my colleagues, they struggle today to pay rent. Another ones got to jail. So difficult times, right? So in my case, I met a guy that presented me the blockchain space. I started working with a startup that uses blockchain, and it changed completely my life, right? So because of that, I started NearX. So we have a big community in Brazil. We have over 10,000 developers working, building new products. And we have done some of nice things with Stellar. So one of these things was the Tokenization Week. Was the first event about tokenization in Brazil, and probably the first event about Stellar in Brazil as well. So we had a ton of more than 500 developers participating on that. It was pretty amazing, but we not only brought the developers to this event. At this event, we brought the biggest banks in Brazil as well, because we wanted to show that Stellar is really cool, right? So we brought the CVM, that's the Brazilian SEC, to talk about tokenization, how the regulation is going on in Brazil. We brought Bradesco Bank, one of the biggest banks, BV, the biggest association about cryptocurrency as well. And it's been pretty cool. And right after that, we started this experiment that is the Stellar Ambassador Program in Brazil. And it's been really, really amazing, guys. We've been doing a lot of fun events. You can see here Lucas, that's right there somewhere. Yeah, and it's been amazing. So we are working a lot with crypto hubs all around Brazil. We are working a lot with universities. Till the end of this year, we will have visits around 30 universities in Brazil. So we are teaching about Stellar blockchain to a lot of people. Here, you guys can see some of the pics. So Brazil is really, really huge. So I've been traveling a lot. More pictures. And yeah, and we are doing all of that. It's been pretty amazing. And for next, we are going to have an event that we are calling Soroban Samba, right? Soroban Samba, because it's very unique, right, from Brazil. So we are like merging these events with a lot of online challenges. So we are integrating a lot with these developers that we are onboarding and coming to build on Stellar, right? So we are having a lot of people from Brazil in the Kickstart program, and it tends to grow a lot in the next months. So that's it, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Kind of cold here. Hello, everyone. My name is David Ogoegbunam, and I am the president of the West African Ambassador Program. And where is he? Okay, he's still there. Now, he is the president of the Brazilian program, while I'm the president of the West African program. So I just want to share with us what we've been doing in West Africa, and I hope you see what we've been doing. Now, the Stellar West African Ambassador Program are a group of people who come together to increase the advocacy and adoption of the Stellar ecosystem in West Africa. Now, we've been doing a lot of work lately. Now, how many of you were in the session Idris had? Idris session, you were there? Yeah, amazing. Now, he talked about a lot of challenges that we face in West Africa. And if you listen to the project that I pitched here, you will see they have similar connections of problems, right? So we have problems ranging from financial inclusion. We have limited access to our funds, and then the African market is quite saturated with a lot of blockchains. And then people in Africa want something new. They want a new technology to take over, and that is why we are introducing the Stellar ecosystem to them, right? So this is a problem that the Stellar West African Ambassador Program is trying to solve. Now, currently, we have 87 ambassadors around Africa. We have in Ghana, we have in Togo, we have in Lome, and we have also in Brazil. Now, together, we hold in-person events. We hold coding classes every week on Discord and on Google Meet. We partner with different Web3 conferences all over the world to expand Stellar. So these are the amazing jobs we've been doing so far. Yes. Now, I just want to point out, the Stellar West African Ambassador Program in particular is just 5 months old, yeah? So we started off in May, and with the help of SCF, we've been able to host 14 different events across Africa with a cumulative attendance of 1,500 attendees. I was thinking there will be a clap for that. Come on, guys. Yes, no, that's really a great number. And now we've held over 40 virtual blockchain classes on Discord. We have empowered 400 ladies with our ladies-focused event. Now we hold female events, and then we had over 400 ladies in attendance in person, and we had over 200 in attendance virtually. So these are the great stuff we've been doing in West Africa. Yes, amazing projects that have come out from West Africa. We had from a lot of them. We had from GearUp, there is Fastbooker, there is Sitemap. So these are projects that have been doing amazingly well in West Africa. And just to point out, one of the projects that came out from West Africa, GearUp, had a partnership recently with Sony. Yeah, so it's really amazing what we've been doing here. Yeah, on Discord. How many of you are on our Discord channel? Amazing. Now, since the inception of the Stellar West African Ambassador Program, we've seen an increase in the activity on Discord and engagement on Discord. Not only that, we have seen a percentage increase in the number of applicants for the Stellar Community Fund from Africa. So these are what we've been doing in West Africa. And just to mention, the West African Ambassador Program gave birth to that of Brazil, that of LATAM, and that of India. So we are actually expanding and we are adopting. This is our journey so far. So guys, let's watch together.
Oh no. Wait.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Space.
Oh, why? All right. Back? Oh, that's it.
Backspace. Sorry, guys. Oh, please don't.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you. This is our journey so far. That is just a 1-minute recap of what we've been able to achieve in West Africa for the past 5 months. And we are looking to expand that number. We are looking to grow, and we are going to do more with the help of everyone. So if you want to get involved in the Stellar West African Ambassador Program, you can totally reach out to me here. You can reach out to us on Discord or fill the form on our Notion page. And guys, with that, I want to say thank you so much for having me. God bless you.
Thank you. It's nice and toasty in here. That's just as hot as Stellar is right now in the EasyA app. Right, so thank you everybody for coming. I think we already have either met at the hackathon or throughout this week.
Sorry, we need you both over here to get you in the
Ah, there we go, great. Hi, camera. But we're going to start with just a little bit about ourselves. So Dom and me, I'll introduce myself first. Dom and I, in case you haven't already recognized, we are brothers, co-founded EasyA together. But my first foray into the space was actually in 2013 through Bitcoin mining. So during my exams at school, I got a little bit distracted, went down the rabbit hole, ended up learning everything that I could about this stuff, learned about a ton of different 3-letter, 4-letter words, non-profanities, PSUs, CPUs, GPUs, ASICs, FPGAs, pretty much everything that I could learn about and get my hands on as well. Flash forwards about 11 years later, I'm standing here, and EasyA, of course, is what Dom and I work on every single waking minute. But I'll hand over to Dom, who can introduce himself too.
Cool. Hey.
Okay, you got one too.
Here, you're gonna try again?
Hello.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Phil, for that intro. Bit about myself. So before EasyA, I studied at the University of Pennsylvania in the US, where I studied finance at Wharton, and then went to go work in finance afterwards at Blackstone in New York, before being hired by Travis Kalanick, the former founder of Uber, to join his new startup, Cloud Kitchens. So after being one of the first hires there, came back to the UK and joined Phil, and we founded EasyA, really with the goal of onboarding developers to Web3 and ultimately bringing new talented individuals from universities, recent grads, people who are maybe working in Web2 into the space. So that's what we do every day, and that's what we've been doing together with Stella.
So I'll talk to what we've achieved so far. EasyA is the biggest Web3 learning app to date. If you were just in the other room, we'll have gone through all of these in a little bit more detail. Combined valuation of companies coming out of EasyA is now over $2.5 billion. But over the next couple of years, we want to 10x that. We want a valuation of $25 billion. And so what we're going to be able to share a little bit more on at the end is like future roadmap, how we're going to achieve that, and how we're going to 10x from $2.5 billion all the way up to 25, and what we're putting up in place in order to reach that milestone. I think most of these are the stats a lot of people will be familiar with. Over 1 million users, partner with over 300 blockchain clubs, and really our big goal is to onboard the next billion people into Web3. And these are, this is like a little state of the EasyA Union that our team put together every year. This initially we weren't planning to publicize this, but we took one of the screen grabs, put it on Twitter, and it went. People were really excited. So this is something that we'll be doing a little bit more of in future. You will see that we have people who are building across DeFi, NFTs, AI, gaming. Interestingly, this one actually right here, Cognition, is valued at $2 billion. So a very cool startup. And if you haven't checked it out, their story is just amazing. Started an EasyA hackathon over at Harvard. Guy named Walden Yan. He literally didn't even tell his parents that he dropped out of university. He moved out to SF and he was like, I'm building this thing. He was doing an interview with a reporter. I think their valuation was about to hit $1 billion. And he told the reporter, please don't publish this because my parents still don't know that I'm not actually at Harvard anymore. So very cool projects and very cool startups that are coming out of it. And I'll hand over to Dom to explain a little bit more about what we're doing in the Stellar ecosystem. We'll go into that in depth.
Definitely. So on the previous slide, you might have actually seen there are a couple of Stellar projects on there. So Rant Me Daddy, who actually, I believe, are at Meridian. They launched at an EasyA hackathon at Consensus, actually, a couple months back. So they're here, and a couple of others, Paula Labs and Hoops Finance and Bastian, yeah, exactly, right here with us today. So as you can see here, this is really what the EasyA app looks like. So super easy to use. We take developers on a journey through the different ecosystems we partner with. In this case, of course, it's Stellar. We take them from an introduction, high level 101, what is Stellar, all the way down to actually deploying the first smart contract right from the EasyA app. And we've had some huge successes with these challenges and with the challenges we launch in the EasyA app. It's all free for everyone to use. And to this date, we've had over 24,000 developers learn about Stellar and EasyA. And we've had them deploy smart contracts and actually really interact with the GitHub repos and really make some tangible impact. Obviously, at the hackathons too that we saw this weekend, we have hundreds of developers coming in real life 1-2 times a month to all the different hackathons we organize around the world, across the US and Europe. And these are from really talented developers all across the world: Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge, you name it. If you can think of the top university, they're probably in the EasyA community. So that's really a little bit about the app, who uses the app. Originally, actually, started out of Phil and my, backgrounds at Cambridge and Penn, and really sort of just, spread out of there over the last couple of years. And we've had some, some great excitement on social media. Every time someone completes a challenge, they post on social media about it, and it kind of spins the flywheel. And this is just a bit about how it looks in the EasyA app. So you can see real coding, nice examples, multiple choice questions, really simple, easy to use. And Ania was just covering the slide actually in the previous room, but these are just some of the amazing projects that we've had come out of Stellar hackathons that we've hosted in the past. But that's it. Thank you very much for attending this talk, and looking forward to connecting with some of you afterwards and seeing you around tonight. Yeah, time to party.
All right, here we go again. My name is Bastian. I'm from Tellus Cooperative. I also presented Hoops Finance today, as Phil said. And this is something really dear to me. I started in the community like 7 years ago. So I immigrated to the United States from Chile when I was 18 years old with the idea of the American dream, right? And I realized the community of Latinos, people from LATAM, Spanish speakers, that all of them had the same problems one way or another. And all of them wanted to come back to their communities and being able to help them and change their prerogatives, right? So that leads us to this. Blockchain is a viable path to sustainable development, but education and adoption remains a challenge, right? We know that blockchain is a technology, that's a solution, but the way that we implement it really changes things. And I want to invite you all to start thinking about it through a sustainable development goal focus, right? To start thinking these solutions can actually help with poverty. They can help with education, right? With inclusion, to create stronger institutions, right? This is really bigger than technology. It's really how we approach it. So at the end of the day, the solution is a commitment. It's a commitment for all of us to actually make this work, right? And with Tellus, what I want to do is provide a platform for Latin American projects to boost adoption, and mitigate the inherent risk of being from developing countries. So how? What are you doing, guys? What am I doing, right? Well, we have educational resources. We started a newsletter. We started a project directory. So all the projects from Latin America, please talk to me. Let's put you all in the same place and start sharing what you are doing in a way that makes sense for the communities, right? We cannot keep regurgitating the same things in English that we translate. We need things that go directly to our community so they understand what is blockchain and why it's good for them, right? I developed a few open source apps through my time in Tellus and in Stellar at the same time, and we just started a Stellar core validator as well. The apps that we developed was Soro Bounty, which I presented in Meridian last time, which was the idea of how do we pay developers automatically with a scroll contract every time they solve PRs in GitHub. Bcoop Wallet, which I worked on a lot. We were able to incorporate local anchors for these wallets, also open source, and as well as community vote app, so we can start using Stellar Classic and the cheap fees, so we can do little voting mechanisms for things like possibly the ambassadors program, right? We started this newsletter, as I mentioned, September 14th, right? And I was like, let's try this. Newsletters is the hot topic. Let's see how it goes. And it's going great. People really like it. We are sending events, we are sending resources, and people are really engaging with them. We are able to actually, many familiar faces here, to boost their narrative and actually teach these subscribers the projects that are happening in Latin America and how can they help them. I was just in Chile. I am very sleepy. It was a 14-hour plane, and we got to do 2 events, one in Santiago de Chile with Universidad Católica, and another one in Temuco, which is my hometown. It was very crazy to go back, and we got more than 50 sign-ups. We got a lot of developers in the Discord group in LATAM. We got people actually doing the Stellar quests and actually getting verified, which is huge. But to me, it was crazy that many of them were studying engineering, right, computer science, and when I started talking about blockchain, they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So we need to change the narrative, right? We need to actually teach them why would they use this technology and why it's not as risky as we think it could be, right? So I presented this idea to IDEA UFRO, which is a university in the south of Chile, in Temuco, and they have something like a cooperative with other universities in the south of Chile. And we've been talking about, well, how can we integrate a full-fledged program in blockchain for our innovation and entrepreneurship degrees, right? And it makes sense. But it wouldn't be just about teaching students. It would be about teaching faculty. It would be about teaching the teachers how to teach these new technologies. Probably someone can do a much better job to teach a programming language that I don't know if that person teaches the language already at university, right? So it's about capacitating everyone in these communities so they can grow together and bridge Web 3 and Web 2 in a way that makes sense for them. And that's it, guys. If you want to contribute, go to GitHub. I have a few videos in Stellar Quest in Spanish. So if you feel that anyone can take advantage of those resources, please share them. I'm going to be doing more and more. And this is the new website with the directory. And if you want to be part of the directory, that'll be great. You can go there, fill a form. And yeah, we'll try to boost your projects as much as we can. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Allison. I'm from Peru. This is actually my first time here. So I just want to start with first So did you know that less than 1% of the users on the top e-learning platforms have taken a course related to blockchain, even if they have like 400 available? Despite the fact that blockchain is growing, there's like 3.8 billion Web2 users that are not interested in learning this. And why is that? So many of the courses are like too technical or too focused on jargon, or they're just like too niche that they don't attract the mainstream user. So how do we help them to take the first step? That's what we're kind of doing. We're Women Biz. We educate and empower women through Web3. We have built a community of over 2,000 women across 14 Spanish-speaking countries. We have been hosting events, bootcamps. We just did a bootcamp about DeFi with Stellar, which was our first one. And we have been thinking, like, how do we attract these new people, these people that doesn't know like anything about blockchain, or they are like, I mean, they're just like no too interested in learning because everything, all the jargon is like too technical. So we came up with this idea, which is Facu School. It's actually our first product. We're thinking about building it on Stellar. Okay. So how this works? It's a sorry, my English. We're a platform that offer high quality courses, company created, but the magic happens in the back. I mean, behind the scenes, where it is integrated with blockchain without needing these users to know about it up front. Okay. So basically, what we want to do is like when they get a certificate of, I don't know, marketing, finance, like the traditional ones, they get an email saying like, hey, here's your certificate, congratulations, it's secured on blockchain. And then there's like this small prompt saying, what is blockchain? Click here to learn more. Or when they earn tokens, they're going to get tokens when they do the courses and they complete the task. So when they earn these tokens, they're going to get this pop-up, saying, you just earned 10 tokens, click here to learn how to use them. So we gradually introduce them to the terminology without overwhelming them. Well, okay, so the key features are the on-chain attestations, token rewards, and if they keep the tokens, I mean, if they hold them, they're going to be able to enter to this like basic governance model. You mean a DAO model where they can simply, it's as simple as pressing a yes or no button to vote for proposals, and they're going to be like introduced to this seamlessly. Why are we thinking about this? Because the global e-learning market it's projected to reach 1 trillion by 2027, and blockchain is growing like 44% annually, and this platform will be like in the heart of it. We have tried this kind of approach with our community, and it actually works. I mean, you don't need to tell them all the terminology so they can use it. Well, you can check our work. We have been working on this for like 3 years. I mean, the bootcamps, hosting events, and trying to get more women into the Web3 space. So feel free to contact me through that QR code or look at our work at our social media at Hi Women Biz. Yeah, that's pretty much it.